I should have titled my last video, How Not to Use the Garwood Winch, because I sure messed up by the numbers. So what I did, I got to fix it now, and I had about 30 feet of cable out, so I just wrapped it around the bumper loosely, moved the truck on top of the hill, facing down the hill, and I needed something weighted to put tension on the cable. I did not want to roll a 1.5 deuce tire or wheel down the hill and let it get dragged back up. Now, when my son was at home, I discovered that young children and sometimes well-trained dogs are great to hold the end of the cable and keep it tight. But young children especially, sometimes well-trained dogs too, they lose the focus and things happen. So I got in the habit of putting a wheel and tire assembly on the ground, hooking the winch into it, and just letting it get drugged. 200 pounds is 200 pounds of load. Well, here I am. I don't feel like pushing the wheel and tire down the hill. So I drove the 715 down there and hooked it up. It's sitting down there in neutral. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fire this thing up. I have all but about 1, 2, 3, I got 9 turns on the cable. Empty drum, 9 turns. I have the winch engaged on the outside. I have the cable laid this way. So by the time it takes me to let the clutch out and jump down here, it should be still nice and neatly spooled. Never let the cable go through your hand. There could be pieces sticking out and it'll just drive right in through your hand. I'm going to be putting my hand on it and walking it up, grabbing another spot, walking it up. And I'm going to stay away from the winch itself in case I get stuck somehow. This thing will take you in. And my last video where the cable is getting all messed up in there, I never seen the Garwood destroy a truck, but the 6,000 pound Braden winch in the 715, I was helping somebody start one of those trucks that hadn't been started in decades, had a winch on it, and the cable was around, figure 8 around the bumper. And the thing would just barely turn over. So we tried pulling it. And I don't know, 40, 50 feet of having the engine turn, not start. It was a bad coil. We figured that out. But thankfully, before we figured out the bad coil, we figured out the winch was in and the bumper and the frame ends got pulled in just by not even idle speed. These things will hurt you. I had a sergeant tell me when I first got in the tanks was everything in the military is designed to kill people. It doesn't care who. So treat these things with respect. All right, I'm going to fire it up, and then I'm going to engage it in low. And I'm going to jump out and guide the cable in. There it goes. Just guiding on in. 715's coming along. I suppose I did not lock the steering wheel. I suppose the 715 could decide to run off into my other trucks. And I'll be running off to hit the clutch pedal. After this first wrap, it should guide itself. And it is. I'm not having to hang on to it. So I'm going to stay here just to make sure. 715 is behaving and following the cable. This is at idle. The winch is on low. It's a 7,000 pound truck just getting drug along like it's not even there. As far as the deuce is concerned, it's not there. This winch is just a monster. You notice how my headlights are bouncing. I did not pull the hand throttle out because I didn't want any more speed on the winch. My idle is too low. That bouncing will cause the headlight filament to break. You should be above 800 RPMs at all time and below 1,000. I'm probably right at 800 with the winch going here. All right, now we're going back to the third wrap on the drum. I'm going to do a video sometime in the future about the differences between the early gas-reduced bodies and the later multi-fuel bodies. And one of those differences is the headlight mounting mechanism, the plate, the headlights, everything. And part of that is in response to the bouncing. There are 6 rubber insulated mounts on this one. They're different than these 6 rubber insulated mounts on the gassers. So when using the winch, have your safety plan. If something goes wrong, I'm running for the clutch. I'm not going to try to get anywhere near the winch. I'm not going to do anything at all with the levers outside. Run to the clutch. I just missed a groove. This thing is walking on me. Why? It's not going to be as neatly wound as I hoped it would. The 715 is not turning. Now I'm having to push the cable the other way. 715 is tracking straight. I don't have the engine running. Oh, big load. All right, I gotta stop it. Let's see what we got here. It was nice and neat. It'll last a little bit. 715 came up the hill sideways. It didn't turn. It should be over at least one car lane. It's coming sideways. So I'm gonna back it up, get the winch unwound a little bit, get it lined up and do it again. But you get the idea of winding the winch cable up right. Put some weight on it. Having somebody drive the 715 or having the 715 started with the power steering might have helped a little bit. The 715s are notorious for not wanting to go where the vehicle in front of them is pulling them.